system.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the next edition of the Losers Lounge podcast. This is the 71st edition. Man, all of a sudden I just got a bit of a chest pain when I said that, but you know, I'm good, guys. All right. This is the predictions to NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day, and I'm not alone here. I got my fellow loser. It's a really short crowd today, but we didn't get it done. Please welcome Heel Balor.
Hello, everybody. It is the undisputed prince of the YWC, back on the most popular wrestling podcast out there, and the only podcast that is edgy. I'm kidding. You know, all podcasts are edgy. But, you know, we're out there and we're one of them. But you know, it's great to be back on once again. That's all I got.
Oh, right. Yep, folks, this upcoming Sunday is Valentine's Day, but according to NXT, it's actually Vengeance Day. NXT TakeOver. We've brought back the Vengeance pay-per-view, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I mean, of course, some people are saying they should have brought back St. Valentine's Day Massacre, but I don't think in this day and age you want to hear the word massacre.
Exactly.
Haven't we had enough, like, metaphorical and actual massacres?
Yes. Yes, we have.
Very much so. The biggest massacre we've ever seen was COVID-19.
Correct.
Massacred over 2.3 million people, including several of my family members, and it's not a good thing. So, folks, I hope you are continuing to stay safe out there and wear your mask and socially distant.
Please do. Please do.
But the good thing is you can put a little bit of distraction off of you by watching NXT TakeOver this Sunday.
Correct.
We got 5 matches on the card, 3 title matches, and for the first time ever, 2 Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic finals. 1 for the men, and for the first time ever, 1 for the women.
Mm-hmm.
This should be very interesting because, like, before we actually get started, I want to say, Double R Wrestler Ryan has a cold today, so he is not available. Connor and KELSEY, we have yet to hear from any of them, as always, but, you know, we always check in just in case.
Mm-hmm. So, sending out love out to Double R. Hope you get better, brother. He says he'll be back next week, but who knows? But give him your thoughts, your prayers, and all that. But he's good. He's good. He's a fighter. And, we'll probably see him next week.
Yep.
We love you, Ryan.
Next week is a double thing going on because we are reviewing NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day and predicting Elimination Chamber as they are taking place 1 week after the other.
Which is so weird. It's the first time we've done this stuff.
Well, there were times here's the thing, if we did predictions on an NXT TakeOver and another one that took place on the same weekend, I'm pretty sure we can handle this.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, we've handled worse. Remember 2018 near the end when there was a shitload of wrestling to talk about?
Oh my gosh.
Start off from Hell in a Cell, and then it went to the Super Showdown in Australia. Then we talked about SmackDown 1000, and there was Evolution, and there was Crown Jewel, and there was NXT War Games and Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like all in the span of 8 weeks. I remember that.
Same.
We went through those 8 weeks, and it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, folks, the Dusty Rhodes Classic returned, and considering the fact that a lot of people are saying there's a lack of tag teams, they were somehow able to have.
Yes.
Wow, it seems like it'd be great to see more tag teams on the main roster, and I have a good feeling we will in the future. It's just like, you know, with a pandemic and all those multiple releases, we probably would have had more tag teams on there.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of that has to do with the pandemic. Sorry, guys. That's honestly the reality, no matter what your conspiracy theories are. All right. Anyway, speaking of Dusty Rhodes Classic, for the men, the winners get a future NXT Tag Team Title Match, and the women, they get a future Women's Tag Team Title Match. And I was like, oh, about time NXT people are going for the Women's Tag Titles.
I know, right? I was like, thank you. Finally, there's no challengers left.
Yeah, I'm like, here's the thing. The women's tag team titles can go on any brand, so take advantage of that.
Exactly. That's from the very beginning,
Hell
which they
yeah.
kind of did.
Yeah. Yeah. We still need, like, here's the thing, it's still going to take a long time before we could ever take those titles seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But let's kick things off by talking about the first ever women's Dusty Road Tag Team Classic. And I got the bracket right here. How this worked out was it started off with here's the thing. Over the course of a number of weeks on NXT, you start off with a team including Cora Jade and Gigi Dolan. Did I say that right? I'm not sure.
I think.
Against The Way, which is I think is a Mandalorian reference. This is The Way.
Mm-hmm.
And of course there was Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, and also Marina Shafir and Tony Stark. Wait, Tony Stark? No. Oh, Zoe Stark. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry about that. There was a time I accidentally called Tony Storm that, Tony Stark. Sorry, I like Iron Man. Okay, anyways. Then there was also Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. And then Mercedes Martinez and Tony Storm. Oh, there's Tony Storm. Nice. Aaliyah and Jessica Mia. And Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Those were the teams for the women that went on to this Dusty Rhodes Classic.
Pretty good lineup right there.
Yep. And how this worked out was The Way got the first win. They moved on to the semifinals. Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart also won. Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter got the win. And Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez got the win. In the semifinals, Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart defeated The Way to make it to NXT TakeOver, and Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez defeated Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter to make it to NXT TakeOver, and that's what we got for this Sunday, folks. We have Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. So, Yo, Bally, you probably have a lot more to say about this compared to me, because you've actually been keeping up with a lot of the product, and I've been, busy with doing a lot of other things. But what is your thoughts on this match?
I'm looking forward to it. These girls can go. And to be honest with you, I think the competitiveness is going to be amped up a lot more in this match, considering what's on the line with the tag team title shot in the near future with what we got to look forward to with that. And also, we are honoring the memory of Dusty Rhodes once again. And I think it's going to be a good match, and these girls are going to deliver.
Yep. Not really much I could really say about it, because, well...
All right.
But it's a good thing that they continue in NXT to have these Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and I actually like how once again they had a first time ever for the women, so there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly am going to predict Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez to get the win, because they're more of a tag team than Ember and Shotzi, no offense to them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think they would be great threats against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, or whoever the women's tag team champions are by that point. So, that's my prediction. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Yo, Balor, what's yours?
I'm going to go the opposite direction. I'm going to go with Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart to get the win.
All right.
Considering the fact that you have the babyface dynamic in there, super. Not against Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, because I'm a huge fan of both of them. I'm a huge fan of all of these women in this match, so I will not be upset either way. I think it's the best bet and the safer route to go with Shotzi and Ember. I think it'd be something new, something fresh, and I wouldn't mind it. Either way, I'll be fine with it. But that's my pick right there: Ember and Shotzi.
All right.
Yeah.
With that being said, we are going to move on to the next one. And now this is probably going to go on quick, folks, so this may not be a long podcast since there's only two of us and we're talking NXT TakeOver and the predictions, and there's only 5 matches to talk about.
Yeah.
But that's all good, though. We're going to move from one side to the Dusty Rhodes Classic to the other. So we have the men's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and this one, the bracket for this case, was honestly seems to be a lot bigger, because for the women's they started off in a quarterfinals, and for the men they actually had an entire first round before they went to the quarterfinals, because they had a lot more to pick from. So how this worked out was We had tag teams included the Undisputed Era and against Breezango. Breezango, I say Breezango, honestly, because I still say Fandango. Fandango, none of that shit, that's stupid. I miss the old days when Fandango actually cared about how his name was pronounced.
Fandango, those were the days.
Yep.
Those were the freaking days.
However, when you see the Undisputed Era as a team, you'd think these two members, but turns out it was not Fish and O'Reilly. It's Adam Cole and Roderick Strong. So, well, that's honestly a twist, huh?
Yeah, Bobby Fish, he's hurt.
Yep,
and
that
Kyle
is
O'Reilly,
true.
I don't know what he's up to.
Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly's honestly chasing Finn Balor in the NXT title, even though he lost literally twice. And honestly, it's ridiculous that he keeps going on, even though he keeps losing. It's like Johnny
Hey, they're making me happy.
Well, anyway, the next one was Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher against Arya Daivari and Tony Nese. Been a while since I heard from those guys. That's because I don't watch 205 Live. Yeah, I don't watch 205 Live.
Neither do I.
Anyways, the other one was Kushida and Leon Ruff against, well, there it is, The Way, Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory.
Yep.
Everrise, that's another team, Chase Parker and Matt Martell against the grizzled young veterans, James Drake and Zach Gibson. And then we have MSK, Nash Carter and Wes Lee against Jake Atlas and Isaiah Swerve Scott. Then we have August Gray and Kurt Stallion against Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. You notice a lot of these names I don't even recognize, and I think that's a good thing.
They're great.
Yep. Then we had the Lucha House Party. Came in as guest participants, apparently. Brad Malik and Lindsay Dorado against Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel of Imperium. And then we have the Bollywood Boys against Legado del Fantasma. I don't know if I even said that right.
Great, Chad. Yeah, you did.
Okay, good. How this worked out, folks, is in the first round, the Undisputed Era got the win against Breezango. Ciampa and Thatcher got the win. In their match, Kushida and Leon Ruff got the win. The Grizzled Young Veterans got the win. MSK got the win. Drake Maverick and Killian Dane got the win. Lucha House Party got the win. And Legado del Fantasma got the win. Meaning in the quarterfinals, we had the Undisputed Era against Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. And in that one, well, the Undisputed Era was destroyed.
Yep.
That's all right, though. I think they've had way too many tag team title opportunities anyway.
Exactly. I think it's getting very repetitive with the Undisputed Era. No offense to them. I'm a huge Mungus fanboy of the Undisputed Era, but I think it's time to move on from the tag team competition and kind of move on from NXT.
Or at least, yeah, from the NXT version. They can go after, like, the Raw or SmackDown tag titles if they move up. Totally fine.
Exactly.
Anyways, the Grizzled Young Veterans defeated Kushida and Leon Ruff. Still, to this very day, cannot believe Leon Ruff was actually a North American champion.
Am I the only one, once again, who found that just funny? And I actually liked it. It was short, quick, and to the point, and they really didn't. They took it off from them immediately, so I was fine with it.
That was weird, honestly.
It was.
I'm pretty sure we'll be talking about our current North American champion a little later.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, MSK defeated Drake Maverick and Killian Dane to move on. And Legado del Fantasma defeated Lucha House Party to go forward. And then the semifinals were last night on NXT. It's kind of a good thing we decided to actually do our recording on Thursday, which is, by the time of this release, yesterday.
Yep.
That way we know exactly who to talk about here. Instead of saying maybe this team or that team against this team or that team.
Exactly.
We might consider doing that for future NXT TakeOver predictions.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
the
semifinals was Grizzled Young Veterans defeating Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. And then we have MSK defeating Legado del Fantasma. So that means this Sunday at TakeOver, we have MSK versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. And for a Tag Team Classic finale, that actually sounds like it'll be a good one. Then again, I'm pretty sure all the Tag Team Classics have always been fun to watch.
They have. They really have.
Oh, yeah. Really good stuff. Like, I remember, let's see. I just want to remember if I saw one live in person. NXT TakeOver Toronto in 2016. Wasn't that the Authors of Pain or something getting that?
Yes.
Yep, I was there live. Was it Paul Ellering up in a shark cage? Oh, those were the good times, huh?
2016.
2016.
That's so long ago. Holy crap.
Yeah, it was 5 years ago.
Dang.
I have a good feeling that in time things will get better. You just gotta have faith, folks.
Exactly.
Yep.
Just like we do.
I never lost my faith, and I'm doing just fine. You should try it sometime, guys. So, MSK versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. This should be honestly good. Wesley and Ash Carter, I'll be honest, I've never seen him before. I've not been watching NXT lately.
They're forming a tag team on TNA. The what I forget what their name was. He'll come to me in a few minutes. I'll come back to it.
The Grizzled Young Veterans, on the other hand, I remember them. They're the inaugural UK Tag Team Champions.
Yep.
What are they doing here, then?
I have no idea.
As a matter of fact, is Imperium technically like clawed in half since Walter's in the UK?
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of them are. Well, two of them are over in the US, and I don't know where the other is. Now, Walter's still in the UK, so he ain't coming over. Period.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, folks, that reminds me, folks. Yeah, Walter is about to break Pete Dunne's record as the longest reigning UK champion. I'm like, that one moment when you have a title reign that lasted 685 days, close to 700 days, and you probably think, oh shit, I don't think anyone's going to be a champ that long. Walter's about to break that.
Exactly.
I guarantee Pete Dunne, who we'll be talking about a little later in the main event, is kind of sulking right now.
I don't blame him.
It's like, damn, I've been champion that long. I was like the longest reigning champion of the last 30 plus years in WWE, and now this guy's about to be that.
He's about to come up here and literally break it in half, which I'm totally fine with, because Walter's amazing.
Just imagine if Walter actually lost it at the 684-day mark.
Oh my gosh, imagine.
That would be embarrassing, huh?
Not really. I mean, it's on his record.
It's like, oh shit, so close by a literal day. Almost 2 years as champion, and you were that close.
Exactly.
Yeah, February 18th or 19th, one of those 2 days will mark the ending of, Pete Dunne's record.
Correct.
So he's got a week. He should defend his title for no reason and then lose it and then win it back on the same night.
Oh my gosh, imagine.
Oh, God. Anyway, folks, back to the task at hand here. The Grizzled Young Veterans taking on MSK. I'm not really sure about MSK, but they made it this far. They defeated the...
They're good.
Yeah, they defeated the likes of Jake Allison and the Size for a Squad. They defeated Drake Maverick Killing Dane, and they defeated Legado del Fantasma to make it to the finals. So they got some good talent if that's the case. But I'm honestly going to go for Grizzled Young Veterans in this case. All right, Heel Balor, it's your move to talk about this match. What do you got?
I'm going to go with my boys, MSK. I think this is the right time, right place, right opportunity to pull the trigger on these guys. And I know what you're thinking, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, they're pushing them too fast. Hey, I've seen worse. And I'm totally fine with them going ahead and winning this thing, getting their future tag team title shot. They don't have to win the tag team championships. They can just go in there, do their shtick, and then, do whatever you need to do with them. And I'm totally fine with that. So I'm going to go with MSK.
And bingo was his name-o.
Yes, sir.
I don't know why I said that, but that's okay. Alright, folks, we're going to move from the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classics to the 3 title matches we got set up. First off, we have the triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship as reigning defending champion Io Shirai, who's been champion since In Your House in June. Impressive title reign.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on, I actually found out they're formerly known as in a tag team as the Rascals. I'm sorry, stable as the Rascals. They were called Desmond Xavier and Zachary Wentz. So there's their names and there's their former names of MSK.
Oh, there you go, then.
There you go.
Well, he said it would come back to him in a few minutes, and it did.
Exactly.
And you probably looked it up, too.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, man. That was awesome.
You know what's up, man.
Hell yeah, we know what's up. All right, so Io Shirai, she's been champion. She's defending in a triple threat against Toni Storm and Mercedes Martinez, or formerly Retaliation from Retribution.
Yep.
But the
Yep.
good thing is we just moved on like it never happened, and yay, Mercedes is here.
Thank God. I legitimately forgot she was in Retribution.
Yeah, she appeared to like one time, and then she was gone.
Yep. I think she asked to be removed because of her personal reasons, which is totally fine. So.
Oh yeah, that's understandable. And besides, she looks great down in NXT. She looked great in both the Mae Young Classics, huh?
She's amazing, dude.
Hell yeah. And I enjoyed when she was in the Royal Rumble match in 2020, I believe. And so now, Io Shirai, Toni Storm, Mercedes Martinez. Those are honestly three great women's wrestlers, and I'm glad we get to see them compete in a triple threat for the women's title.
It'll be good. It's gonna be good.
Hell yeah. Io Shirai, of course, like I said before, was champion since In Your House, which in my opinion was one of the first times that NXT TakeOver was an absolute failure.
I didn't really care for that show.
Yeah,
I really didn't.
It was cool to have the name In Your House back with the classic setups and everything. But that's only one thing. The delivery of almost all the matches was horrible.
The only match I really cared about, of course, Balor and Damian Priest, the Karrion Kross against Tommaso Ciampa, Gargano and Keith Lee, and of course the main event. I did not care for the NXT Championship match. And no, it's because of the Valentine dream before I started typing in the comments. It's just how they executed the match.
Yeah, it was
that was horrible.
Yeah, that parking lot brawl thing or whatever the hell it was one of the first failures of the cinematic style matches.
Came from NXT of all places. So that makes get this, guys. NXT can make mistakes, and that was one of their first of many mistakes that they did.
Yep.
That match was horrible.
Yeah, that was one of the first times I was like, oh shit, NXT had a failure. That was a first, in my opinion. Like a failed event.
Wrestling is perfect.
Hey, here's the thing. Around that time, I was on break from YouTube for like 4 months, so the Losers was not around to talk about that event. So that's why I was like, I guarantee if I was around and I did not take that long break, I guarantee we would have cut right into that show.
Oh, guarantee you.
We would have been
pissed.
That
show, not good.
Yeah, we would have been pissed.
I don't think I would have been pissed, but I would have been very disappointed. Because there were a few matches. Okay, the main event was good. Main event was good. I liked how the women event at Io Shirai got a moment. The open match with Balor and Priest was good. I enjoyed Keith Lee and Gargano, but just the execution of the NXT Championship match, that was just infuriating.
Yes,
it was horrible.
The Keith Lee Johnny Gargano match for me was absolute bullshit, in my opinion, because, well, here's the thing. Johnny, he's really fast. He's really quick. He was moving so slowly. And Keith Lee, he was not showing what we all knew he could do.
Exactly.
That's why I didn't like the match. That's why a lot of people kind of like disagreed with me in some ways or agreed with me. It was kind of like split 50-50. People said, no, that was good. Or I agree with you. It was bad. My reason for not liking it was like, what the hell? We've seen these two compete in better environments. And we know they can pull it off really good. So where the hell was that in that match?
They didn't showcase that for some reason.
That's why I didn't like it. The other thing that kind of was stupid about that match is, you know how they had that in your house like set up? They had a door and everything. Yeah. Johnny Gargano tried to get away from Keith Lee by opening the door when he could have just gone around the whole thing. Doesn't work. Going through a door doesn't work if there's literally nowhere to go.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, this is just kind of awkward. But the one thing I will mention before, since we're talking to women here, the main event, when Io Shirai became the NXT Women's Champion, and people say Charlotte Flair doesn't put anyone over.
She does, only on her own terms, and she did put her over. She should take the pin, and I do think that Charlotte should have taken the pin. I don't care what anybody says. Charlotte should have taken the pin, and she buried Rhea Ripley afterwards. That's how I see it. She buried Rhea Ripley. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know what I'm talking about. That is a burial because Rhea was not the same for a while since that loss, but she's finally found her feet. And it's great to see, but in my opinion, that match,
well, here's
what we got in that match, that was really good.
If someone is buried, I'll be honest, the actual term for buried is getting put down and you're never seen again. That is buried.
Well,
making a comeback, that's a different story.
She had the crutch kicked out from under, in my opinion. I wouldn't call that burial. Let me rephrase that. Yeah. She's had the crutch kicked out from under her because she had a good run.
It's like, she climbed a ladder, then she tumbled down, and she was like crushed for a moment. But, she fought her way out, and boom, there she is now.
Exactly.
In the meantime, Io Shirai, she's been champion for a very long time, well over half a year.
As she should do.
It's been really good. She actually has done really good in title matches against the likes of Dakota Kai and Candice LeRae.
Yes.
And so now,
correct.
Here's the thing though, like, here's the thing. Some people would agree or probably disagree, but I really think the person who should have challenged Io Shirai at this event, Raquel Gonzalez. She pinned Io Shirai at War Games.
Exactly. I don't know why they're not doing that, unless they're going to do it afterwards.
Yeah, I'm like,
unless
Io Shirai, Raquel Gonzalez, Dakota Kai, great competitor, but I looked at Raquel Gonzalez as a much bigger threat, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm like, Raquel Gonzalez, I hope she gets a women's title at someday, you know, like, if she ends up winning the women's tag titles with Dakota Kai, well, that's a start, honestly. That's a start.
Yeah.
And then they can probably do something with the tag team titles over there, so kind of good thing. But then eventually I want her to win a singles title.
As she should, because she's very good.
Yep. But when it comes to women's title reigns, we can't forget about Kaylee Ray. She's the longest reigning women's champion of the last Lord knows how many years in WWE. She's been champ for over 530 days. She's been a champ longer than Asuka was NXT Women's Champ.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, what do you think about the fact that literally every champion in the NXT UK division was champ since 2019?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And they should be proud.
Gallus, the tag team champion, since October 2019. They were the most recent title to change hands.
Correct.
I don't refer to Jordan Devlin's cruiserweight titles as a UK thing because that's an NXT as a whole title, not an NXT UK title.
Exactly.
So that's a different thing. All right, we're moving forward back to Io Shirai versus Toni Storm and Mercedes Martinez. Toni Storm, of course, former UK Women's Champion. Mercedes still yet to win a title. In this case, like, here's the thing. Yes, Io's been champion for a long time, but this honestly has me wondering if it's time for her to drop the title or if she should hang on to it, maybe going into, like, WrestleMania. Not really sure. But my prediction is Io Shirai will retain the title. I mean, I like Toni Storm and Mercedes Martinez, but I really think that Io should hang on to it a little longer, lose it to somebody else on a different time, maybe on a time frame like WrestleMania, since like WrestleMania is going to have 2 nights, so they're probably going to do a lot of things. Probably get NXT involved in the mix, so I would like that.
Yeah.
All right, Heel Balor, it's your move to talk about this match.
Okay. To be honest, I think anyone, to be honest, you could win this match. I'm very torn on these women. I could see either one of them taking the title or Io retaining. I am going to go with Io Shirai somehow retaining the title. She's going to somehow just skid through these waters, and I think she's going to pin probably Mercedes Martinez. Well, we know Toni could take the pin. I don't know who's going to take the pin, but I think Io Shirai is retaining here. Maybe you, like Christian said, maybe you can book on WrestleMania or have a title match on WrestleMania because 2 nights, and there are rumors. I'll talk about that rumor when we get to it on the end of the show. We have the main events, but because I got plenty to go into on the main event, as you guys know. But I think this is the right time to have Io retain. Nothing against the other two. I'm a huge fan of the other two. I love Toni Storm and I love Raquel Gonzalez. Mercedes Martinez, my bad. I get them both confused sometimes. Mercedes Martinez.
That's all good.
But I think this is the right time, right place, and right scenario to have Io retain again. And I know people are saying, "Oh, but she doesn't deserve to have the title. She's a horrible champion." Yes,
Wait, hold up a second. People are actually saying that?
Yes.
Oh my God, are you serious? Io Shirai's a great champion.
Did I stutter? Did I laugh? Oh, heck no, I didn't laugh or stutter.
Yeah.
People are actually saying that.
Hell, she's honestly a better champion than the women's champion on that other show.
Mm-hmm. Way better.
That one's ridiculous. That one's like
person.
That was a situation where they're like, "Are you really sure you want it? Like, what's your plan here?"
Exactly.
So that other show really needs a lot of work.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna move on.
Yeah, I'm with that. Io Shirai's gonna retain.
Yep. All right, and now we're gonna move on from one title to another title, the NXT North American Championship, which is currently held by Johnny. I still call him Johnny Failure.
He called himself Johnny Loser on NXT, so does that mean Gargano's secretly a loser? No, you're not.
No, not a chance in hell. He ain't never joined the Losers Lounge podcast. We can't have an actual loser join the losers. That's actually a funny way to describe it. But no, yeah, I still think, yeah, he got one win at a takeover. Congratulations. I mean, sure, it honestly breaks his streak, but he's got a long way to go from getting out of that. And plus, not all of his curses are gone. He ended a curse of constantly losing at a takeover by getting a win. That doesn't mean that, the curse is going to... Here's the thing. In my opinion, he's not out of that curse until he breaks his loss record, which is overwhelmingly big. 5 wins, 15 losses?
Yes.
Good God almighty. What else is there? The other curse was not being able to successfully retain the title. He did so, finally, against Leon Ruff in a rematch. Congratulations.
Yeah.
He thinks all curses are broken, but there's one curse that he has yet to break, and that is successfully retain a title at a takeover.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he has the chance to break this Sunday against Kushida.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kushida, folks, who came into WWE last year and annihilated Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, he literally annihilated him.
He did.
To the point where it was almost scary.
I know people who like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Johnny Gargano's the only 2nd and 3-time champ.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But if you still take a look at his overall records, I'm like, wow, he's a 3-time champ. Cool. He still has not even made to the top 5 of the longest reigns.
Exactly.
It's just still funny that he's the shortest reigning champ and the 2nd shortest reigning champ. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. I know for a fact he lost the title to Leon Ruff as some sort of a joke or something to play on the fact that he constantly loses on the first offense. But, yeah.
The guy's amazing.
Yep. It's like Johnny Gargano. He's taking on Kushida. Basically, he managed to get some luck on his way again. No pun intended. The fact that he's got a thing called the way now. Johnny Gargano way. Even though, I guarantee, constant success is not the Johnny Gargano way. That's the what should have been way. I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to come up with something. Mm-hmm. But with Johnny Gargano's match with Kushida, he's got a tough task ahead of him if he wants to retain the title. But I'll be perfectly honest. I think he's capable of getting it done. He just hasn't done it. Everybody's capable of doing something good. They just haven't done it yet. Yep. So that's all. That's something, honestly, to think about. Some inspiration to think about. Just because you haven't done something yet doesn't mean you'll never do it. So I'm gonna go on a limb and predict that Johnny Gargano will retain against Kushida, probably via disqualification.
Right. Maybe.
But here's the thing, Kushida, the way I've seen him perform, he's somebody who you definitely want to keep a sharp eye out for.
Mm-hmm. He's dangerous, man.
Oh, yeah.
I am joking when I say that. Dangerous.
Yep. So, yeah, Johnny Gargano, Kushida, I pick Johnny Gargano to retain. Heel Balor, it's your move.
I think I'm going to go Gargano, too, to retain. I don't think this is the right time to have him lose just yet. I think they got somebody else lined up for him. Who that person is, I'm going to keep that secret because, if you watch NXT television, you'll probably know. But, yeah, I see Johnny Gargano somehow retaining.
Tommaso Ciampa again?
No, not Champ.
I swear to God, they better not reopen that again.
Nah, they need to stay gone from that for a long time.
The Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa thing, we've seen that happen once per year since 2017. And I remember in 2020 when Johnny Gargano cost Tommaso Ciampa the NXT title, I literally quoted that vulture from the Jungle Book that constantly said, I don't know, hey, don't you start that again.
Oh, my God. Yeah, man. Yeah, they don't need to revisit that, but the person I'm talking about is Ronson Reed. I could see him taking the title of Dexter Lumis. Or Cameron Grimes. I love Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Grimes.
Freaking love Cameron Grimes, who's apparently rich. In story, he's freaking rich. Apparently, he's a pimp.
So Godfather.
What? Yes, I'm not even joking about that. He came out in NXT with a top hat. He's all covered in brown. He looked like Willy Wonka. I'm not even joking. He came out in a top hat with lots of money, throwing it around, saying he won the lottery.
Wait, looking like Willy Wonka. We'll be talking Johnny Depp or the actual good version.
Johnny Depp.
Okay, the horrible.
Johnny Depp.
Oh, so the horrible version then.
Yes.
Yeah, I did not like that.
Weird.
I did not like that remake.
I don't blame you.
That was
I love Johnny Depp. I love Johnny Depp, folks. That movie's horrible. It sucks. The original's a lot better.
Yeah. All right.
Gene Wilder.
So both of us predict that Johnny Gargano will retain, and now, folks, we are moving on to the main event. The main event. Here's the thing, folks. We're 35 minutes into the podcast, and for the first time in a long time, we're at the last match.
Yep.
Short podcast, but you know what? That's fine. We haven't had a short podcast in ages.
Exactly.
And plus, there's not much to talk about for NXT TakeOver and predictions.
Yeah.
And there's only two of us here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of factors going into it. I guarantee next week will probably be a little long because we'll have to review the show and talk the Elimination Chamber.
Guaranteed. Y'all getting along one next week. Yep. Be happy.
Okay, the main event is NXT Champion Finn Balor defending against Pete Dunne. So I find it interesting that just as Walter's about to break Pete Dunne's record, Pete Dunne is contesting for another singles title. I'm like, about freaking time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did at Survivor Series in Chicago in 2019, and I was there against Adam Cole, and he lost. But it was a great match, and I loved that. And I love being at Survivor Series. I love being in Chicago, and it was great that I got to attend the Raw vs. SmackDown vs. NXT battle.
Yes.
I guarantee if Heel Balor was there or the rest of the losers were there, we'd probably be decked out in different shirts based on that show we're supporting.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I like Survivor Series like that is because that's the one night where even if you're with your friends, if they're rooting for another show, we're like, let's fight to the death.
Exactly.
It's nothing personal. I love you, man. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fight to the death. I always like how I refer to it as that. I'm like, come on, guys. We can't look at this as just a friendly competition. We got to look at it as a war. An actual war here. By getting us actually involved in that sort of thing, we actually made it a lot more fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, yeah, Finn Balor versus Pete Dunne. That is a match I am honestly excited for.
It's going to be good.
Hell to the freaking yeah. Finn Balor, of course, is the second guy to have been NXT champion. Actually, the third guy to have been NXT champion twice. Because we have Shinsuke Nakamura and Samoa Joe. He's the first guy to do it in so many years.
Mm-hmm.
So Finny McFinfin, as I call him. That's still a cute name. Finny McFinfin!
Yep.
Here's the thing. I'm trying to figure out... Oh, yeah. You remember... That reminds me. Last year, remember when Pete Dunne was in the tag team with Matt Riddle, the Broserweights?
Yes, I do.
I refer to them as Matty Pete Raps.
Oh, my God.
Willie's got a notification from the anonymous Raw general manager.
May I have your attention, please?
I swear, if we ever heard that again in WWE, my head would explode.
God. Oh, same. Oh, God. Ugh.
The last thing we want to hear is that noise, and then all of a sudden we hear, "Can I have your attention, please?" And then, wait for it, and I quote.
Exactly.
So, Finn Balor and Pete Dunne, they're two guys that have put on successful and fantastic matches over the years. Here's the thing. I know it's been quite a while for me. Have they ever faced off one-on-one?
No. First time ever.
First time ever. Mm. All right, then. Here's the thing. Finn Balor, countless great matches. Pete Dunne, countless great matches. Now put them together.
Exactly.
Like the time when we watched Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly at NXT 31.
Oh, my God.
That was the one night where Willie was torn about who he should root for.
I was like, no joke. I was so torn. Go back and listen to it
Yeah,
on that podcast.
you were like, I don't know who to pick. I love them both. Why can't they both win?
Exactly. Like, I was so torn. And the match delivered on everything. Sure, Finn Balor got very badly injured, and Colorado got very badly injured in the end, but they delivered, and yeah, pretty good match.
Hell to the freaking
Really match of the year for me. I think this one's going to be even. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to come back on here next week. Hope I come back on here next week and say the same thing about this match. I think this match will top that match with Kyle. That's just me.
Yeah, we're talking a guy who was once the longest reigning NXT champion. That honestly nowadays goes to Adam Cole, and we're talking the guy who's the soon to be not former longest reigning UK champion. And here's like Pete Dunne. He wasn't champion that long for no reason. Even here's like there were times he did sporadic defenses, but you remember this, Willie. Pete Dunne even defended the WWE UK title in indie shows.
Yep, he did. And he defended it against Will Ospreay one time.
Yeah. He's like, what the hell? I'm the WUK champion. Let's freaking do this. The fact that he was allowed to do that really blew my mind.
Exactly.
But I'm like, wow, okay, I like it.
Guarantee if the world was safe right now, Walter would be doing the same thing.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know. I don't even know if Walter would still be champion right now.
I don't think so, because I remember last year they were building up to Balor and Walter, and we were supposed to get that. And then, obviously, the world went to hell, so they put that in the back burner for a while. So now Walter is the almost longest reigning UK champ.
By the time we get on here next week, we'll say that he is.
Yep, correct.
And that's okay, though. But yeah.
I was saying for a long time before he came in. I was saying for a long time, when Pete Dunne held that title, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? They're bringing someone special in. Because I was thinking to myself, there's nobody on this roster who could take him out. And they brought Walter, and I'm like, there's the guy. There he is right there. Look where we are now. It's crazy. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's all I said about that
one. All right. Yeah. That's all good on that case.
Yeah.
Finn Balor, Pete Dunne. This is a tricky one, honestly, because I'll be perfectly honest. As we all know, on NXT, they were both confronted by Royal Rumble winner Edge.
Correct.
And here's the thing. I don't think that just because Finn Balor is champion right now, and here's the thing, he's been champion for almost half a year now. He won it like early September in 2020. I remember when he did it because I was in Niagara Falls at the time enjoying our vacation.
Mm-hmm.
God, I love Niagara Falls. And once this lockdown settles down, and I guarantee this summer, I'm pretty sure things will settle down hopefully just a little bit more so that I can feel more safe. I guarantee I'm going to go back to Niagara Falls.
I'm going to go to the beach again. It was pretty normal back last year, a little bit with the beach with me. So I'm up to Florida, so there are people down there. No offense, people in Florida. No offense.
I understand.
No offense in Florida. No offense.
So I'm like, Finn Balor, yes, he may be NXT champion now. That doesn't mean he won't exactly be champion come WrestleMania time because, well, we've spoken before about the potential of NXT being at WrestleMania. Willie's going to touch in on that in a moment, but I want to say that personally, yeah, I think Finn Balor will retain the title. It's nothing, and my honest reason is because of the potential WrestleMania match, which I guarantee Willie knows what I'm talking about, so I'll let him take over for this one.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Maracle. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll first talk about who I think will win this match. First of all, I do think Edge will be in attendance somehow, some way, because he said on NXT last week he's paying very close attention to this match. I mean, I don't blame him, man. I am very looking forward to this match. You guys know I love Balor, obviously. I love Pete Dunne. And I do think these guys will go out there and pull it out of the park, throw it out of the ballpark. There, I can't freaking speak. And they will deliver on all cylinders, man. And I'm really looking forward to this match. I do think Finn Balor will retain. I think Pete Dunne will come close. There's gonna be many near falls in this match, many coup de grace, many bitter ends, finger snapping. There's gonna be many things in this match. I do think Finn Balor will retain. And I'm predicting afterwards, after the match, I think we're going to get one of two things. Here's one scenario I think will happen. Edge is going to get in the ring. Edge is going to stare down Balor. The lights are going to go out. And all of a sudden we see on the Tron, or like we're going to see on the stage, Scarlett standing there. And she just has the hourglass. She can set the hourglass down. The sand's going to start falling. And the show's going to end. Or the second scenario is that the lights go out. Balor's already done defending his title. He's tired as heck. All beaten up. Lights are going to go out. And then out of nowhere, Cross is going to show up and choke Balor out. Why do I say that? Why am I talking about Karrion Kross? Who, by the way, followed me on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. It's freaking awesome. Shout out to Mr. Karrion Kross, by the way. I freaking love him. Why am I saying that? The reason is, according to WrestleVotes, Finn Balor will be defending the NXT Championship. Now, there's rumors and polling backstage they want Finn Balor to defend the NXT Championship at WrestleMania. And we don't know who his opponent's going to be. We don't know what they got set up. But I do think this is a good idea because, as we remember last year at WrestleMania, Rhea Ripley defended her title against Charlotte Flair. So I think it's only fair that NXT gets another shot at WrestleMania, and what better way to do it than do Finn Balor against Karrion Kross at WrestleMania?
That, in my opinion, is fantastic. Hell yeah, that's the match I'm hoping for. Because as we know, Karrion Kross is somebody who never technically lost the NXT title because he had a shoulder injury.
Exactly.
Shortest reigning champion at 4 days, but I don't think he gives a shit.
I don't care. I'm upset about that, but I really don't care.
Oh my god! You know what would be awesome? Honestly, Karrion Kross should change his theme song. You know he should come out to?
What?
Carry on my wayward son.
Oh. No.
Oh, the puns.
No. Imagine. I don't mind. That'd be kind of funny, but nah. He's too much of a badass to do that. Anyways,
I could probably also say, why did Karrion cross the road?
Wow.
Oh my god. Yeah, Karrion Kross, Finn Balor, WrestleMania. That's the match we hope that we are going to be talking about on the WrestleMania weekend predictions.
I do think that, and I'm about this, ladies and gentlemen. I've been joking about this. I threw it out last month. Now, I said this. Nobody else thought this. I said, what if they do Kross and Balor at WrestleMania? I said that. Nobody else did. Nobody. Me.
Well, technically, I also said it, too.
Yeah, you said it, too. Yeah, you said it, too. So the losers called it. Once again, the losers call something, and WWE does it. It's so weird. And we're not even joking about this. There were many times where the E actually does stuff that we predict. And it's so freaking weird.
Or at least do something that we kind of called months prior.
Exactly.
Hey, didn't we say something about in 2018? One day they should honestly create a women's tag team title.
Yes.
What did they do a few months later?
Created the women's tag team championships.
And absolutely destroyed them.
Yeah. I said they should let women main event WrestleMania. What happens? They main event Mania the next year on my birthday. And my girl wanted that as well. Well, on Christian's birthday. But still. And my girl wanted that as champ on Christian's birthday. But, she was there. But still. I think, do you think will it give NXT more exposure, Christian, to have WrestleMania? Of course it will. To have NXT represented every year at WrestleMania. Do you think that's a good idea going forward?
I honestly think it should because, as you may notice, WrestleMania is 2 nights, so there's not going to be a takeover prior to this. I really think that, having a takeover prior to a Big Four event is not a good idea. I mean, I like how they just keep them separated from that entirely, so they don't make comparisons on which is better. And I think they should do that because, they should consider, NXT TakeOver shows on certain times. Yeah, good, excellent. But I think on Big Four events, Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, there should be at least one NXT match. Or in Survivor Series case, NXT joins the fight.
I like that idea.
Yeah, if you want NXT to be representatives, and this honestly goes back to what I've also said, I hope that we can bring back the single-branded pay-per-views. Please
do, because nowadays with them being dual branded, it's very annoying.
We could have a Raw pay-per-view, a SmackDown pay-per-view, and then there's an NXT TakeOver.
Exactly.
And then, now here's the thing, that also gives the brands enough time to build up the storylines prior to the pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
And then, on a Big Four event, we have matches from all 3 brands.
Bingo.
Ta-da!
Simple. Now they're going to do it because we just said it.
Yeah, oh my god,
yeah.
If they actually do that,
They're
way better get the freaking credit. Losers Lounge number 71 at the 49-minute mark.
We called it. We said it first, ladies and gentlemen. I think, going forward, apparently, now this, I don't know if this is true or not, but WrestleMania apparently might be going back to the single nights next year. This might be just another thing where it's like they have to do 2 nights. Now, I personally don't mind the 2 nights. I like it. It's easy. It's very easy.
The other easy thing you do is just give the other easy thing you do is just make sure that only the best of the best get to compete at WrestleMania.
Exactly. Not everyone needs to be on Raw. Well, we should say this WrestleMania itself, but not everyone should be on WrestleMania. But I bet you're thinking to yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, why Finn Balor and Karrion Kross at WrestleMania? Why not the women? Well, that's where I come in again. Maybe you could book Balor Kross, and you could do the Women's Tag Team Championship match at WrestleMania. Because you're going to have Women's Tag Team title match at WrestleMania regardless.
So how about that? Yeah, how about that is where the winner of the Dusty Rhodes Classic gets their title match at WrestleMania. That is history.
There you go, right there.
Losers Lounge writing history again.
There you go, right there. As for the men, it's fine. You can leave the men off the card. That's fine. MSK can have their little match. If they win their match on Sunday, they can have their match at later date. I think it's best to have the women's tag team titles, whoever wins that match, on Sunday. Have them go for WrestleMania. You can do Balor Kross, or I pitched this idea too. You could do Balor, Kross, and O'Reilly in a triple threat. But I personally think it's a safer bet to go with Balor and Kross because the story literally is right there.
Hell yeah.
It's right there. And whether you like it or not, and I don't hate saying this period because I know it's freaking true, Balor's a transitional champion. He is. He's only because Kross was gone. Kross is back. Kross wants his title back. And to be honest with you, like I said, I'm a huge Kross fan. And I love Finn Balor. But it's time for my other boy to get his title back. And I'm waiting. I've been waiting. I was so upset he had to relinquish it. Just like when Balor had to relinquish his title. Back in 2016 with the Universal Championship.
Hell yeah.
And I think it's best to do Balor Kross at WrestleMania. 25,000 people in Raymond James. Well, 25,000. Well, how many they put in there?
I think 25,000.
Okay. Yeah, I actually want to save the whole crowd thing when we get to WrestleMania itself because there is a huge ton of things I want to go into. I don't want to waste it here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wait until we get to WrestleMania itself.
Because we still have 2 months to go before we're at WrestleMania, so we have a long way to go. We still have to cover TakeOver Vengeance. We have Elimination Chamber, and then there's Fastlane in March. So actually, after the Chamber, folks, we'll be taking a little bit of a break for a few weeks.
Yep. A little bit of a break, and then we'll be back for WrestleMania itself. Yep. And we're thinking about doing something pretty good.
Yeah, WrestleMania 37 is going to mark the Season 4 premiere of the Losers Lounge podcast.
Correct. 4
seasons. 4 seasons.
Dang. It's crazy, man. But that's WrestleMania. I can't wait until we talk about that. But this is now. And like I said, Finn Balor will retain the NXT Championship. I do think Pete Dunne will come close, but you're not winning the title. I will not be upset if he does, but I think it's best to have Balor retain, and you do one of the scenarios I just said like a few minutes ago with Edge coming out and doing his shtick. And because, first of all, Edge will not challenge for the NXT Championship. I don't care what anybody says. They're not doing that.
Yeah.
They're not doing that. No offense to Finn Balor, but you against Edge and your moveset, no. I'm good.
Kind of dangerous, yeah.
He's a little dangerous. Not saying Finn is not reckless. Hear me out, ladies and gentlemen. Finn Balor is not reckless, but 1916, no. He didn't have to use it, but just no. It's safe to not do that match. Nor do we need to see Karrion Kross and Edge. No, why do people want to see that?
Yeah, that'd be even worse.
Do you see how many Doomsday Saito suplexes that guy does to? Bruh, just imagine.
Yeah,
that's nothing I don't want.
Okay,
but that's all I got. Yeah, it's my final prediction. Finn Balor will retain the NXT Championship.
And ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our predictions to NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day. And man, we're just about 5 minutes shy of an hour, so we actually almost did hit the hour mark. So we've been talking about this for quite a long while because, well, we like going through the history of these two guys that led into their match.
We do.
I guarantee we're going to do a lot of that on WrestleMania weekend. We're going to make sure, we're actually probably going to do our recordings of WrestleMania predictions a little earlier than we normally would because of how long it might be.
Man.
Because we're gonna talk. We're literally talking about 2 nights of WrestleMania,
which is gonna be amazing. And we didn't do it last year, obviously, so this is gonna be a first for us.
Yeah,
so I'm very excited.
This is gonna be great. Like, here's the last time we had the 6-hour podcast in 2019, but that was because we had to talk. We talked Access. We talked detail on the Hall of Fame and NXT Takeover, and it was almost 3 hours into the podcast before we finally made it to WrestleMania, and that went on for like almost 3 hours. Because they had a shitload of matches to talk about.
16 matches on the card.
And not to mention, of course, that was also our 1-year anniversary, so we talked about how we revealed our story. We told our story at the same time, so that's why it was so damn long. This time, don't think folks, we're not gonna do a 6-hour podcast, because from the looks of things, we're only gonna be talking about the WrestleMania weekend. So maybe it could be 2 hours to 3 hours, but
it depends. It depends because Lounge is we're getting a little secretive right now with we might have guests on. We don't know yet, but we're getting a little secretive. That's the Lounge business, but who knows? Who knows about that? But WrestleMania, it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be another good one. Fans return, which people have complaints about, but I'll talk about when we get to WrestleMania itself.
I do have one thing I will point out that I'm actually happy for when it comes to the fans. WWE said WrestleMania is the only one they're gonna have with fans in the foreseeable future.
Exactly.
So I actually like that. So I like that because it's like, okay, we can at least have this show, WrestleMania, to have some fans in it. And so we can feel like, yay, 25,000 people here. And it gives Raymond James Stadium the chance that they did not get the previous year. That's why I call it WrestleMania, the second chance.
As it should have gotten that
honestly, WWE's been naming their pay-per-views with subtitles. Remember Clash of Champs? It was Gold Rush, Extreme Rules, The Horror Show. They should label WrestleMania the second chance.
Or the comeback, because it's the fans' comeback. The first time since Elimination Chamber, which I am very, very happy. The fans are coming back. And, of course, there are going to be people out there who, why are they going back? We don't need fans back. Y'all are crying for the fans. The fans coming back for 2 nights.
Here's the thing. I personally disagree about the fans being in, but ever since I saw the safety precautions they did for Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure they'll be good. But we'll talk more about that when the time comes. In the meantime, folks, that concludes our predictions to NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day, which takes place this Sunday on Valentine's Day. So here's actually some good advice when it comes to Valentine's Day, folks. If you're not in a relationship and you don't have anything to give to somebody,
which I'm not,
buy some chocolates or some candies or whatnot, and say it's for that special person in your life. And then when somebody asks who is it, the response is me, you dumbass.
Oh my god, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, you should say it's like, oh my god, it's like heart-shaped chocolate. Yep, for that special person in my life. Aw, who's that? Me, you dumbass. And you sound incredibly offended when you say that.
Oh my gosh, I actually should do that because I'm single. So.
Well, me, I'm not somebody who. Well, I'm not somebody who reveals his marital status on in the public. So nobody knows if I'm single or taken. Hell, I could be married or divorced, and these guys don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the
That's
thing.
not my business.
Am I single? Am I taken? Am I married? Am I not? Am I engaged? Or is it complicated? That is only my business. And I'll be honest, sometimes even the losers don't know what's going on with me.
Exactly. That's totally fine with us because we may be family, which is legitimately real. We're legitimately family at this point. Yep. But there are things we just don't tell each other.
Hell yeah. That's okay. Here's the thing. When it comes to Losers Lounge, we bond over our love for professional wrestling, and that's why this podcast has existed for years.
And I'm very proud to be a part of this crew. Even though
and it's going to keep existing. Hell, I'm going to hope that maybe, just maybe, by the end of this year or maybe next year, we'll mark our 100th podcast episode.
We're closing in, man. Let me tell you. If we keep going at this rate, let me tell you, big things are in store for us. And we love our fans out there. And I heard some on Twitter, actually. Some people responding, oh, well, I found you from the Losers Lounge, this and that. I'm like, okay, cool. I love my fans. It's crazy.
Yep.
But
I will also say that, when it comes to...
What you got?
What the hell was it again? I almost lost my train of thought of what I was going to say, but that happens. In the case of the Losers Lounge, Here's like last year I was out for like 4 months, so I was gone for a long time, and there was like a lot of times I was on break. But thanks to my new workout and sleep schedule, I've been in much better condition recently. So I want to tell you guys right now, folks, that I will be performing on YouTube for you guys throughout as much as 2021 as I can, and that includes the Losers Lounge podcast.
That's dope, man.
Hell yeah. All right, folks, that concludes our predictions to WWE, sorry, in the way it is, but NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day. And this Sunday is going to be a fun show. The following week, we're going to be talking the review of the event, and hopefully we'll be talking a lot about Finn and Pete.
Oh, yeah.
But then, of course, we're also going to put our predictions to the Elimination Chamber, and then the week after that, we'll review the Elimination Chamber, and then we take our little break again.
Which I do love our breaks. Yeah, I love this podcast and all, but it's pretty good to take a break.
Yep.
Except for 3 months.
And once again, to those who don't know, yeah, we're not talking about that other company anymore. So we're not going to predict their event. That's coming up.
We're done with them.
Yeah, we're not predicting their event that's coming up.
Mm-hmm. They're not of our business anymore.
But yeah, then of course we're going to predict Fastlane in the middle of March, and then we're going to review Fastlane at the end of it. A couple weeks later, that's our big talk on WrestleMania. So I hope you guys are going to be ready for the Season 4 premiere. I know I'm excited. I know Willie's excited. And the other members of the Losers are definitely excited for WrestleMania. So we're going to try and make this an explosive podcast like we did in 2019. I mean, not as long, but we're going to make it explosive nonetheless. So, Heel Balor, you know what to do now.
All right, we are the Losers, and this, excuse me, this is our lounge. I'm going to try it again. We are the Losers, and this is our lounge. Peace out, guys.